Good evening to you all, wherever you are. My name is Emmanuel Odeke, and I am happy to be on your screens again this particular Tuesday of the month of June. Today is the 27th. So salary earners, I am sure, are starting to smile. Others have already smiled. And that is how the month ends. But nevertheless, those who are not salary earners, they are smiling every day. Who knows? And probably today, with me in the show, an engineer here will tell us why others should smile every day and others shouldn't smile every day. Our topic today is the forgotten treasure in a boy child. So that's what we'll be discussing today. And with me in the studios here in Church House, 3 guests. This is rare for me to host 3 people here. But when you see them, then you know there is a need. There is a need to have them in the studio. One is the usual culprit in this show. To my extreme right is the usual culprit of this show, and the 2 are our guests. And I am sure, who knows, in the future they might also become usual culprits of this show. This is Let's Talk every Tuesday, 9 p.m. and we enrich lives. That's what we do, because that is what we can do best. So, engineer, you're welcome.
Thank you, Emmanuel, and good evening, viewers. What a treasure to be together once again. Bless the Lord for His goodness to each one of us. Really, it has been a wonderful time, and we do appreciate God's goodness.
Okay. Why should others smile every day and others smile only at the end of the month?
Depending on the strategy you lay for your life, you can always smile, but I think the message behind this is that when you know what to work for on a daily basis, you are different from what you wait for at the end of the month.
Thank you.
That's the difference.
That is engineer for you. His words are normally in that kind of way. Some time ago he told you, be careful of Malo. So today, I don't know what he's going to tell you. And then to the second, to the next to engineer is Rotarian Kirabo Viola. Would you say hello to our people?
Good evening, viewers. Like he said, my name is Viola Kirabo, and I am a Rotarian from the Rotary Club of Kampala Sunshine.
That is very particular. That is. I hope by the time you finish here, engineer will be part of the Rotary Club.
He is already part of the Rotary Club of Kampala Sunshine.
He's sure? You're serious?
You're yet to know as the program goes on.
Engineer, you in Luganda they say wandi demolukwi. But it is okay. That's for another day. And then my immediate neighbor here is Rotarian Joan Asiimwe. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, and a pleasure to be here tonight on Family TV. My name, is Joan Asiimwe, Rotarian Joan Asiimwe, and also part of the Rotary Club of Kampala Sunshine. And we are very excited to be with you today to share about the Boy Child Initiative. Okay.
That's Joan for you. She chose to be smart on blue, which is also okay.
Both things.
and then Viola chose to be on my favorite color, pink, which is okay. Engineer, you and your coats always. You're smart. All right. So let's dive to today's topic, the forgotten treasure in a boy child. Ladies first. I hope you're okay with that.
No problem.
Someone said ladies first when there is danger, but I don't want to take that bit. Joan, Rotarian Joan, pardon me. If I, what is the hidden treasure? What is that hidden treasure in a boy child that has been forgotten?
Okay, thank you. I think we have to take a step back first of all. I think the introduction would be that the forgotten child is the child who is, but society has somehow forgotten that this child is special. When you look at history, I think in the past decades, very many initiatives, very many strategies have been laid out to try and support the girl child. So the girl child has been, molded, has been supported, has been empowered. So many words can go, has been mentored, can be, and you find that along the way, the boy who initially was, great in society, brave and strong, able to articulate himself, able to articulate what it is that he was purposed to do, over the years it looks like the boy child has gone silent. So the boy child seems to be lost. And society now, I think there's been now a shift in trying to understand, okay, what has happened? So this treasure that we're trying to now pull out is just trying to sort of revitalize or reignite the boy child. Why? Because we feel like, and as a Rotary Club as well, we realize that there is need to be able to try and empower this boy child, remind him that you are special, you have a purpose, there's a reason why God created you, there's a reason why you're on this earth, so let's be able to tap into that to push you to reach your greatness. So that untapped is what we're trying to pull out when it comes to the boy child.
I want to think that Joan is giving a very good background to our talk today. Let me dash to Viola. Who are these particularly, and where is the interest? What happened that all efforts were put to the girl child and the boy child ignored?
Now, I think I would not go from what my fellow Rotarian has just told us tonight. But for me, the whole point is this child is not inclusive. It starts with inclusivity, or rather exclusivity. So if you asked me, just like you just did, where is this child? Who is this child right now? This child is that existent child, like Joan told us, but they're not inclusive in society, in gender campaigns. I mean, I'm going to make a very strong statement, I'm sorry, but I feel like the whole world has gone hypocrite. There's a lot of hypocrisy, especially as far as gender parity is concerned. Because if we are to go for gender equality, then we better give a 50-50 to both the boy child and the girl child. Now, the fact that we have paid more attention to the girl child and then neglected the boy child in very many aspects that you're going to see tonight, that means the boy child is not exclusive in very many aspects, and that is the lost child. It's a child we are looking at. We just can't find them. I'm just going to give a very simple example, Mr. Odeke. If you had 2 children, I just pray that we're all parents here tonight. At least I'm sure of us 3. I'm not sure of you. Are you a parent? Are you?
I am. I have a.
So let's assume that we
son.
have a baby girl and a baby boy, maybe 14 and 16 years. And at this time, around 9, they're not home. I'm very sure even you, the father, you would first call the girl child to find out where they are. Even our concerns as parents are neglecting. They're excluding the boy child. I mean, the small basics, before you even go to very many other areas. And I would also use another example. For example, if I would go to biological, look at the physical and the health developments. When these babies are growing up, the boy child is still lost. That's the child we're looking at tonight. They're still lost in a way that we pay much attention, especially as the mothers, to this girl child. We are so worried. Oh, are they already in their menstrual periods? Oh, have the breasts developed as yet? Oh, what is happening? You forget that the boy child has a lot of physical developments that could worry them as well. I think even these boys get to the age of 20 when they've never heard from their parents. So that is a child that the Rotary District 9213, where our governor, the next governor, come 1st July, District Governor Edward Kakembo, has come up strongly through the Rotary clubs that he leads to come out to the public and try to educate, to empower, to rehabilitate the boy-child presence, their responsibility and everything. And what shocks me as I wind up your question is that we expect this man tomorrow to be man enough in a family. How are they going to be man enough, a responsible man, if we have neglected them at this level. So that is the outcry we want to give out tonight. That is the passion we have, so that before you get to that teenage age, after the teenage age, at least you also considered you're inclusive in society as someone who needs attention to be a better man tomorrow.
Engineer Kibuuka.
Yes.
We have girls well brought up,
Yeah.
morally upright, and boys who have grown up in the ghettos.
Yeah.
What kind of family is that going to be like?
Well, thank you, Emmanuel, and the viewers. That's the biggest challenge we do face as a country and probably as a region, because the gaps that we've seen, Rotarians have analyzed, and we're seeing them quite often, and we don't seem to pay great attention to them. History told us wrongly. Our history and culture related to the strength of a boy child or a man, and they thought that a girl is always vulnerable. And another bit is that they're thinking that a girl must be in the position of mothering and taking care of home always. And therefore, too much attention by culture used to be paid on to that. Emphasis was geared at that. Then this man was left to be a man in the wilderness, whereby the culture tells him, be strong, don't cry, you must be a man always. That's why you see, even at home, it's very rare to find a boy crying. But when a girl cries, there is great attention paid on to the crying girl. So, some of these were culturally created. Now, because they were, it came to a level of thinking that the girl was underprivileged and was overburdened, because culture taught the girl how to be a housewife, a housekeeper, and a good mother at home. Now, the turn of events was when the emancipation came in, whereby the Western world introduced the uplifting of a girl to another level, to be an educated one, because even in our culture, and some cultures, girls don't used to go to school. They could say, no, but it's a mere girl. And as is a mere girl, tomorrow will marry and go off. Therefore, not much attention to be paid to this girl to go to school and what. Therefore, that gap when it came, and the Western powers, because the emancipation came from the West, they saw it and there was a need for intervention, which was good. But again, underneath, there was a problem of fighting what the question has just come, the family unit. Because the family setup in our African culture is always under the hands of a well-organized man. Actually, right from the biblical setting, a family, its strength is onto a man. Now, when they thought of how to weaken the African family, they had to sugarcoat what we call emancipation. And underneath, there was a hidden agenda. And when it came, there was that bit of equality. And when equality came, the women thought that now they will step on top of everything. And that's one first step which made men get down and they became inferior. Right now we can take an example. A good working lady who is, in quotes, not well groomed and didn't understand these things better, who is earning 10 million a month, will underlook a Kibuuka who earns 500 a month, but is the husband, is the father of the children. Which kind of man are you? And when these flow, they flow into the heart of a young boy growing. And the moment you reduce a man to nothing, it demoralizes the man totally. And that's the basis where we started seeing men getting off. Remember, we had even leaders here who publicly could water down the men, and moreover their husbands. And they were promoting emancipation of women. So some of the things were good, but I think we had a misconception. Some were wrongly picked. And for that reason, the family unit got shaken. Because a well-groomed young lady will fall into the hands of this disorganized young man. And what will happen? Today, if you take statistics, there are so many single mothers in apartments. More than ever. Just look at apartments around. There are so many single mothers. And the young men, much as they are educated and have jobs and what, they have turned out to be donators. They donate and...
Donating what exactly?
You know, they donate, if I say they donate children and they just go away. You know, they donate, dump and leave. And what has that gotten to? It has gotten to a level of this organization of the family unit. Too many problems are coming up each and every day. Why? They are coming right from the disorganized boy. And how they come? Today, I think today I was following up something where the spokesperson of Internal Affairs was saying men have resorted to DNA to resolve issues in their homes. And a man has 6 children, but none of them belongs to him. And they are married with his wife, and they are at home. Now, what does that speak into a family? What does that speak into the life of a man?
Okay.
And
just
challenges.
What is your take on a DNA?
You know, my take on DNA, I'm not one person who is into DNA because my situation is quite good, so it's okay.
No, I'm just saying your take. I'm not saying you need to.
It has good. It's a two-way thing. It brings out the truth that people desire, but it breaks the systems of the families. I want to assure you, I gotten so much disgusted when I saw a father who gotten into the results of DNA of the 2 boys, and when he gotten home, these 2 boys came hugging dad. Oh, daddy, dad. He first slapped one to the other end.
Then
he slapped the other to the other end. And you know, the cause was DNA results. But these are innocent young boys. Innocent souls.
Yes?
I don't agree with the engineer.
Yes.
I would only agree with him on the approach of the father, but I don't agree with him that DNA should not be conducted. Why? We better know the roots of these children. I'm imagining I have a child and I've lied to my husband that, look, this is your child, and this child tomorrow goes and marries a sister or someone in their own family. That is incest. What are we promoting? So we better meet the bitter truth and deal with it.
Engineer.
So we do it with DNA.
Yeah, we do it. We should do it. If you're not sure, then do it. And
I said it's a two-way. It has the truth of it, and then it has got the disorganizing bit of it. But I've not said that we don't do it. It has got that two-way. However, I believe the best way to live is to have well set up families, to organize ourselves, girls and boys, groom them rightly into the biblical godly principles, and we get well organized families.
Absolutely.
And the parameters should be known well. If we are grooming this girl child, actually one thing people should know, when you're a mother or a father, as we are, the girls I'm having, they're my daughters. But I must know I'm grooming somebody's mother. I'm grooming somebody's wife. I'm grooming somebody's daughter-in-law. Okay? That should be at the back of my mind. Therefore, I must prepare that girl well to meet that. The son I have, I must know I'm preparing somebody's husband, somebody's father, somebody's son-in-law.
The danger there is you don't know who the person is going to go up and meet in the near future.
I don't need to know. All I need to know is to do the best of my ability.
Absolutely.
To prepare this person.
On your own side,
On my own side.
as Kibuuka.
And therefore, Emma does the same. Because if you want to get something good, you prepare for it.
Exactly.
If you want something good, actually, Emma, you went to school and you spent a lot of time doing your studies to prepare yourself to be somewhere. And eventually, you are somewhere.
Exactly.
Because that good effort, you put it there. The moment you put that good effort into your family, into grooming these children, guiding them, because let me tell you, under the Children Statute 1996, I was privileged to be part of it. But let me tell you, I told guys that we are preparing a thing, but we are forgetting one great principle, which might cost us a lot. They said, we laid down all the basic needs of a child, put them together. And I told them, we left out child guidance. Because it's a very important thing.
Right at that point,
all the rest. But without guidance, nothing.
We'll definitely get back, and Kibuuka, together with Joan and Viola, still here. They're not going anywhere. When we return from the break, we'll pick it up from child guidance. Welcome back. I wish you were there to listen to what was behind the scenes while you welcome back from the short break. It is still Let's Talk. My name is Emmanuel Odeke. Welcome to this episode again today, the 27th of June, and I am telling you the month is coming to an end, and in the studios is engineer Kibuuka, Ronald, and with Rotarian Kirabo Viola and Rotarian Joan, Asiimwe. I can tell you it is boiling up here. You just need to know what is happening here. So let me pick it up from Rotarian Joan. What is happening with the cultures today, and how has culture messed up the boy child? I totally understand there has been a background given to this by Engineer Kibuuka, and gender equality was brought up. Now the boy child is down, the girl child is shooting up. Even when there are some adverts for some jobs, they say ladies are encouraged to apply.
There's an advantage.
There is an advantage. Are we not going to go back to the same mess?
No. At least we should endeavor not to. You asked about culture. You know, culture is both good and bad with this topic. Yeah. Our culture in Uganda, I think if you look at certain cultures, boys grew up not lifting a finger. In some cultures, I'm not saying all. There is a culture there. I once went to a certain part of Uganda where the boys wake up in the morning and all they do is sit on the roadside and watch and count cars as they pass. And who are they sitting with? With their fathers. Where are the mothers and where are the young girls? In the gardens working. What does that mean? Society now has shifted. It has evolved. The girl is now emancipated. The girl is now educated. Do you think the girl is what will appreciate that she goes out and toils every day while the boy child sits on the roadside or sits with his father to drink marwa or whatever it is that they are doing? No. So culture has proven to be both. Of course, culture helps us to shape and understand and root us, especially as Ugandans. Because we love our culture. I love my culture. My children, I want them to also be able to walk confidently in their culture. My children are Waganda. And you know the Empisa za Waganda. My mother-in-law should not hear me trying to define what Empisa za Waganda is. But we try to ensure that at least the values are instilled in them. But on the other hand, so we have the beauty of culture. The Baganda again, they have in Buganda there is the Echisakate where they send the girl and she's taught how to be a lady, how to be a woman in the home. Engineer Kibuuka spoke about it. Where is the Echisakate for the men, for example?
Wow.
It's not there, or at least I've not ever heard of it. Are there any other compartments or groups that cater to these discussions? I don't know. And if they are there, it would be good for us to tap into those existing societal groupings. Society has evolved. It's no longer the way it was long ago. And yet, the structure of the family has not changed. Because again, like Engineer Kibuuka has said, definitely the man remains the head of the home. He actually carries the mantle of the home. Women have been uplifted. Culturally, we are groomed to listen and to look up to the men around us. However, unfortunately, there's been a lot of disappointment. Why? Because of culture as well. Because the men feel that, even the boys feel that, even that because they are boy, they're not supposed to do certain tasks. They're not supposed to conduct themselves in a certain type of way. Yet society has changed. It's saying that now, come home, help in the household, carry the baby. Don't just sit. Don't just expect that things are going to fall in your laps. No, take initiative. Culture has proven that in certain area, in certain times, and in certain homes, that cannot happen. So I think for me, that shift is what has disadvantaged us, because culture has been beautiful, but culture now proves that maybe there's need to see how to bring in the how society has become more modern than it was traditional.
Okay. Viola, there is a chisakate for ladies.
Yes, in the Buganda culture.
Yes, in the Buganda culture. And I think I saw something of that kind. There is one about to load soon. Now, there is nothing for boys. Engineer and Viola are making it very clear that the man is the head of the home. So you're getting a crook, not trained, not panel beat. He has grown up in an atmosphere that says a man is a man, a die-hard is a die-hard, and nobody cares even if he screams how. It is the lady, the girl they are looking up to. Where are we heading? Is the modernization going to twist our arms in the near future?
That is the reason why we don't have families. That's why we have breakups in marriages, because we do not groom both a child who is a girl and who is a boy. Why do I say this? Just like engineer said, that the vulnerability of the girl child led to the detriment of the boy child. We all thought it had to be the girl to look up to, and we forgot about the boy. Now, when Rotary Joan says culture brought up this boy, to be I am the man, I cannot even wash dishes. The other day, our governor was giving an example that in homes, you find that a girl will go to the kitchen and they will prepare the meal, and the boy will come and pick this meal and eat and leave the plates on the table, and the girl will come and pick the plates and wash it. The girl is doing two jobs in the house. That is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Kibuuka. In Uganda,
yes, that's what I'm going to. Now, the musajja, I don't want us to take away the respect of the culture of a man. No, but this man should know that despite you being omusajja, we have to go with the era at hand. We have to go with the flow of modernity, though respectfully. What do I mean? Let's know that we have some responsibilities as a man. It doesn't hurt if you go to the kitchen and help your wife. I mean, she's heavy, she's about to give birth. What's wrong if you just helped her and mixed sauce for as she's trying to put food to the table? Is that wrong? Does that take away your manhood? It does not.
I am actually wondering responsibility versus respect. I think the other one is responsibility. Does that kill the fact that I respect you?
Well,
if I did the dishes, will that remove me from being the man?
No. Let me tell you, members, there's a challenge here. You know, when you look at culture and modernity, these two things are fighting each other. But let me tell you, in our culture, we were groomed, and to be the Kibuukas who we are today, we had to be taken through steps. Let me tell you, my mom taught me everything. I was raised by a single mother. But right from washing, everything, there's nothing I cannot do. Even cooking food, everything she taught me single-handedly. And we were obedient and we were listening, and we could hear and we could learn. And she was that mother whom we could work with and understand.
Thank you.
Now, culturally, mothers were the organizers of children in the home. In fact, if you are taught to do something, and then you will be reported to the father. And then the father will deal with you because you disrespected the order given to you. Now, there came a time with modernity, the mother and the father, they became absentee parents.
Yes.
And they want to guide these growing children, more so the boys. Became a challenge, even the girls, if I may say. It's a few girls whom you see who are responsible. But in a modern way, the legs are up, the TV, the remote, the phone, and it's the maids who are doing this and the other. I remember one time I met ladies, young ladies. They were in the market asking a fair lady to peel matokes that they are going to take home and cook. For them, they cannot peel.
They are the nails.
Yeah, the
nails.
Modernity.
The
I want to tell you, when I talk of malo, some of the things are clear malo. A woman is charged with building a home. A wise woman builds her home. A foolish woman destroys her home. I want to give you an example. There was a lady, a very powerful lady. She was the Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel. She said this: I am the powerful lady in this country, I'm the president, but I'm a married woman. The time for office is over. I have a husband to cook for. I have a husband to wash clothes for, to iron for him, and take care of him. Here, you hear our women. Is a CEO somewhere. She tells, ladies, stop being so cheap. Don't kneel for men. Please, don't get that cheap. We're empowered. She's a CEO somewhere. And she's talking to a young girl who has just gotten a job in some employment sector somewhere. So she's big. She's earning 2-3 millions or 4-5. So she's big. And therefore, this man you want to be close to you and help and do this and the other, you've not brought him, you've not pulled him close to you. You've put a gap.
This woman must be married to an empowered.
And at the end of the day,
child.
what happens? If this young man is not greatly understanding, would just raise his hands and say, to hell with this. Because this woman, the main role of you is to hold this man together. By the way, a man is, by our culture, is the one who goes and looks for this girl to be part of his life. It's we who bring them into our lives. No. The position has not changed. So if we do and bring them, we expect to work with them all the way. You work with somebody where the ears are put together and you can work together. Culture does not say that you don't, when you are close to your wife or your husband, you are making any mistake. Culture wants you to be together. The Bible tells you to be together. The modernity tells you have wings and everybody should do. Actually, women ask the husbands, but which kind of man are you? You cannot even make a bed. You cannot make a bed. And really... Because
they married the man didn't marry.
You see?
That's why.
Now, the man must make a bed. And therefore, one of the reasons which can somebody get, this man is it's just a Western thing. I'm struggling, but he cannot even make a bed. So it's incumbent on a man to make a bed. If he doesn't make a bed, then it's a problem. But let me tell you, there are boys who are raised, they grew up the Chimafia way. By culture, boys are hygienical and not so clean. We just have to, we struggle with them, teaching them how to be clean. He can come, pull a blanket, throw it the other side and the other side. Now he's growing up into a man, you are telling him, if you cannot make a bed. That one alone can make the family. Therefore, there are cultures which we can equate to modernity and they copy well. In modernity, there's what we can copy and what we cannot. What is not for us.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because some people think that modernity is a design. That's why you see somebody builds a skyscraper in the middle of the slum, and when it rains, and he opens the sewage into these houses of these people and thinks I'm modern. And he calls that modernity.
No, but it is engineers who do that.
No, they don't. I don't do it. At least I don't do it.
No, but the ones who built.
No.
Those. You might not be the one.
You can build the skyscrapers fine, but you, the proprietor, if you are using your thing, and your intention is to open it into the community, then you say, I'm modern because I'm up and then they are lower. There's a problem. there's a problem. So some people think modernity is a mere design. But we just...
Engineer, I don't know if you're getting the point I'm saying. This guy has the money.
Yes, he has.
But he is not doing this himself. If we have engineers who are all right in their heads, can they do that?
Do what?
Can they accept to do that kind of construction?
Let me tell you.
Various
People's way of life and culture are different. Emma, you've been driving your car. This city is fake and full of potholes. And as you drive, there is water mud everywhere. Do you just sprinkle it on people because you drive a car? Don't you have the car? But haven't you seen others just and rams into it?
And some will just try to, look for the right path.
That's what I'm saying. The society is full of...
Yes, true. It's true, because a certain percentage of us, we are mad. We have a level of madness. Yes, fine. But people who are rightfully minded and they are clear and their brains are clear, they are there. That's why you see young ladies in their capacities, as Rotarians, young as they are coming up to say, this is not right, we must stand. And yet you find a mature, gray-haired man, big in his status, he wants to just abuse. In fact, those who are promoting these young boys into homosexuality, they are people of high class. But instead, they are taking advantage of them. They don't have even a chance of thinking that we can groom these boys into rightful men because they want to make a man, and for them, they are wasted. But you find young ladies who are thinking right, they are there. They say, yes, even, I want to tell you, even their children might be too little, too down, but they feel the constant. There's that heart.
We are worried what is going to happen to our children.
That's the point.
Yeah, so you better raise up yours the right way.
Right.
Yes,
And the time is now.
We have all agreed. This is Chisakate in English form.
For the boy child.
For the boy child.
Yeah, for the boy child.
But you see, this is on
And
air.
a lot more is coming.
This is on air.
A lot more is coming.
And you know the trouble is the one for girls is hands-on.
Yes, true.
I have a young girl who is my friend. She was telling me they're teaching them to peel matoke.
But Emma,
but there's a big problem, and we're actually sitting on a time bomb. Nowadays, these our sisters, when they are getting married, they even hire singers.
let me tell you, Emma, we're talking about culture.
The uncles
No. We're talking about culture. We're talking about culture here. Let me tell you, these bisakates and what, they are not necessary. We never had them. We grew up, we never had them. Because in actual sense, the Chisakate means your own home, where you are born, where you are enclosed, and what you learn in that home. Now, because we became so modern and useless, we created a gap. Somebody, in fact, I will tell you the very last closed Chisakate, I looked at a lady, she said this, I'm so grateful for this Chisakate, because I brought my child, and now she has learned to peel. And the girl she brought is 6 years to learn how to peel. They don't eat food at home.
They do.
The other lady was saying, oh, I'm also grateful. I brought my 3-year-old child to do what? This is neglecting parental responsibility. The moment we get back and know these are our children, whether I'm the father or mother, there's no problem to turn the pampers of my daughter or my son, much as I have a report to do on computer, but the girl is my daughter, the son is my son, I'm responsible, and I should do what I need to do. If washing them, cleaning them, preparing them what to eat, if the mother is there, we work with the mother, it's a responsibility I need to do, because it's mine. Now, we have become absentee parents at all levels. And the children have been given to TVs, the social media, mates, And do you know where we are? We are clubbing. We're enjoying life.
Having fun.
We are here, we're having fun here and there. And therefore, tomorrow, we are complaining. Let me tell you, we have seen scenarios where the so-called high class is crying. Emma, you've not, I'm a book writer. And when I'm doing my research, I reach so many areas. I got shocked when I went to Otavika, and I found from 15 to around 30 young men who have gone off, as they say, but they are there. And you know what? Some belong to ministers, children of ministers.
What else can they do if they are mad? Where else can they take them? Well, Now, Rotarian Joan, we have culture versing modernity, and they are punching themselves badly. And now that we have gender equality saying for a girl to get to campus, there is already a 1.5. There are some
I
jobs
think
where
they're scrapping it off.
It was scrapped, I think.
it was.
It's in the process.
It's in the process.
It should be in the process.
It should be.
They should have got that very well, but it is there for now currently.
5 points, yes.
And then when some jobs women are encouraged to apply, and then there is this die-hard brother who is hustling. Where is the meeting point for us to have a society that is sane, that is upright, a society that has young boys with super bright minds chasing these things away from the other die-hard guys we've known?
Okay, I think I'll pick up from where Engineer Kibuuka mentioned that we have to go back to now to intentionality, being able to parent as parents, but then in areas where there are no parents, guardians, or even just looking out for role models in society, I think is very key. And that should push both the girl and the boy child, because like we are saying now, if we're talking about gender looks at equality. How do we mainstream equality for both the boys and the girls? So now for the boy who seems to be left behind, it is now again where we go back to how do we reawaken and remind this boy that you're actually destined for greatness. You're actually supposed to be, you have an extraordinary purpose for you. So being able to remind this boy. And then secondly, I think it's also very important for us to purpose to mentor this boy and be able to move the boy child especially away from what society brands them. Kampala is filled with so many informal settlements, and if you actually took the time to go into those informal settlements, the slums, you'll find that there are many boys who think that they'll never amount to anything beyond maybe just being a border rider, and yet border
Drug abusers.
Exactly, into alcohol at a very young age, into drug abuse. They are, some of them, if they are lucky, end up into taking up a sport, and that takes up their time. But of course, these are boys that also have dreams. So how do we enter these areas and now also be able to, and actually these informal settlements actually push out some very innovative and very strong characters. So if we're to be able to pick some of those from society and take them back to these areas where they came from, they are the best voice to come to try and say that don't give up. Don't give up on the dream that you have. It is possible. And I think that's now for me, now going back to why are we on this, why are we in this station with you today? The Rotary Club of Kampala Sunshine, in partnership with Church of Uganda, is very, very keen on being able to enter these informal settlements, and of course the schools, to remind them and to take these personalities that we believe could break into conversation that will be understood by these young boys, because again we have to grab them when they are still young. Exactly. Because it is hard to try and bend an old tree. That's there. It is hard to try and change a man when he is above the age of 20. It is very hard. It only takes God, actually, I think. Prayer. But the minute you have we're able to tap into these school settings, these informal settlements, through those community centers that are there, the LCTR persons know all these children, all the challenges that they face, then that is where we can be able to pull them together, encourage them, remind them. Some of them need counseling because of when we say that kids have been neglected, who has been handling these kids? We've talked about homosexuality. There's that vice right now. We have to fight it. And all the other predators that are there within society. And so some of them have actually been scarred in one way or another. And that is what would prohibit them from reaching their full potential. So being able to grab some of them, most of them, at a very young age, the age of 4, 5, 6, put role models around them, creates aspects of accountability. Are you going to school? Did you, are you learning how to, are you maybe trying to understand what your purpose is? And, I believe that is what will, one, allow us to have more gender equality, because now you're starting from when the kids are very young, and then you find that at the very end, the girl and the boy are moving at the same pace. Yeah.
We have about 2 minutes here. Let me give each of us, the producer will borrow us about 3 minutes so that we can sign out. The 1 hour we've had here seemed like we've been here for some 10 minutes, which is also okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me start with Engineer. Engineer, you have a minute, then Rotary Viola, you have a minute, and then Joan, you have a minute, and then we'll be good to go.
Well, thank you, Emmanuel. I believe the strategy that Boys to Men initiative, we've tried to lay it down, and then with the partnership with Rotarians and other partners who are getting on board, we do believe and we are convinced that the trajectory will be changed. Will change the way the boy child is looked at. Will strive to build the boy child into a man of valor, because our target is to change the boy who seems to be lost or neglected into a man of substance. So that when we're talking about building families from which societies are built, we'll start on a good note, we'll have a good note, and then we'll extend. And it takes me and you to start on this journey of building an environment that we all treasure, that we all want to live in. Because if we don't do that, none of us seems to be safe. Quite often we've seen challenges of kifesi and so many other things. I think there are those who put pavers in some paper, in some bags, and they hit people on the head and on cars and what. Some throw eggs on windscreens of vehicles and what. There's a lot of havoc. These sisters of ours, their bags have been like, bags are running around. But leaving alone that, even when they grow, they reach 20, 30 or so, they have become wasted. They are players. You find somebody is running around with over 10 women or girls, misbehaving on this and the other and the other and the other. And these guys, when they're not organized enough and they seem to come in the limelight, they're looking so smart. They dress well. They play around.
Yet behind.
They get here, they get there, they get here, they get there. By the time you assess know who this one is totally nothing.
And it is too late.
But has caused the havoc. So, for that reason, each one of us is a culprit, or is bound to be a culprit to this kind of environment if we don't tackle it. So in whichever way, we must come up. We urge every Ugandan, every person, please let's stand up to build a boy child to safeguard the next generation.
Joan. Oh, sorry, Viola. I'm mixing up a few things here, but it is
if
okay.
we were a return, I would penalize.
Oh, I am about to become one, so before I become one, I'm sure.
You have someone called Sergeant at Arms, they would have gotten some money from your pocket. But proceed.
Yes, Viola, Rotarian Viola, your parting shots on our talk for today.
Well, for me, I think the time is now. And it's so beautiful that Rotarians are coming together, especially Rotary Club of Kampala Sunshine with Church of Uganda, to uplift the boy child. However, it is my prayer that we shall insist on gender equality in its sense, realize gender parity, rather than putting one the other. The balance you are giving us. One is up, another one is down. Because also, if we over-insist on one side, definitely the other one goes down. So it's my prayer that we encourage practices, especially right from home, just like Engineer Kibuuka was emphasizing, right from our homes, which are the best sakate moments and spaces. Let's have the boy child included. The time is now. Let's get concerned about them. Let's tell them what they're supposed to do. Let's empower them and, teach them about tomorrow as far as being a man is concerned. I'm very sure if it starts at home, just like they say charity begins at home, then the future is definitely bright and we shall realize gender parity, because most of the global campaigns, everyone is a girl child. If you went to Ministry of Gender right now and you carried out statistics, you'll be shocked that even the people who are looking for custody are looking for girls. No one looks for the boy. Doesn't the boy want good welfare? Those good, rich Western homes? The files are all for girls. It's time for the boy child to be uplifted, and we know that they also deserve our attention.
All right, so today the last person is Rotarian Joan, Asiimwe, and then it will be good to end the show.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having us on the show. I think for me, the importance is having a healthy balance between the maturity of a boy child, and then also being able to live and actually live throughout your childhood to reach maturity. Trying to ensure that the boy child is able to express himself. You know, they're not allowed to weep. You know, when you read about the issues that the boy child is facing, they can't even express themselves. They can't cry and share the pain that they're going through. So it's important, I think, that we create spaces where this boy child can be able to let go of all the whatever emotional challenges, pains that they're going through. They're able to come in and say, I'm failing at this. How can I be helped? And with Church of Uganda, we are looking at how do we support this initiative. So, and of course, Church of Uganda is, I know has really purpose. They have very big dreams. We're hoping to work with them for a very long time, but creating centers that will consistently be there beyond our 1 year. Where we're going to be rolling this out initially, just to ensure that these spaces continue to be in existence. Exactly. These spaces are approachable by all boys. These spaces have well-equipped counselors and other key persons that can support to encourage, mentor, and push the boy child to the level that he's supposed to reach. Thank you.
Engineer Kibuuka says running away from responsibility is malo. And before you notice, you need to have a basic chisakate in your house. Failure to do that, you will definitely have a messed up household. How about we end it at that today? Thank you so much, the Rotary Club of Kampala Sunshine, for coming through.
You can say that again.
Thank you very much, Rotary Club of Kampala Sunshine, for coming through. It has been cool having you guys here together with the engineer. I'm being encouraged that you come back next time. Otherwise, thank you so much from my and the team. It's a good night. God bless you. God bless Uganda. Till we meet again.